to Mr. Wempe next. He's a private client advisor with J.P. Morgan. Mr. Wempe.
Thank you. Good evening. Racism exists. Systemic racism exists. I think it's very clear from all of my fellow panelists here that they are aware, and I think all of us are here hoping that we can spread the message so that others are aware that racism exists and therefore can start to help create change. With any problem, you can't go about fixing the problem unless you know you have the problem. Again, that's where the awareness comes into play. And so I hope for somebody that's listening to this message that wasn't aware, maybe they are aware now. Once we achieve that level of awareness and recognition, I think what comes next is at the end of the day, as people, we have to care. As a white person, and speaking therefore broadly for white people, we need to care. I feel embarrassed, ashamed, guilty for not having done something before these last couple of weeks. This is the first time I've ever had a discussion publicly like this in this forum. Why did it take so long? Why did it take 8 minutes and 46 seconds of a police officer's knee being on George Floyd's neck to help resonate and create that movement from within where I can hopefully be an ally. I can hopefully be a voice for my Black brothers and sisters so that they are treated fairly, justly, and with the same, with equality. Well, why did it take that long? We have to care. At the end of the day, when you think about the racism that is that is interwoven in our country from the beginning, you have a majority that is oppressing a minority. Black people have fought this fight by themselves for too long. How can the majority change if it's only Black people fighting for that change? As as a white person, white people need to be with Black people fighting for that change. The majority as a whole can't change unless Black and whites are coming together again to change. So with what Winston said, with what Rich said, I think that you absolutely have to have a network that is diverse. And I think as a white person, you've got to ask questions. You've got to listen. As a white person, we don't deal with the social injustices. We don't deal with the police brutality. We don't deal with the racism that a Black person has to go through in this country. So we can't know exactly how they feel, but we can empathize. We, we can understand to a certain degree. And at the end of the day, hopefully we care enough to want to help create change. And so, again, I hope that people maybe that weren't aware become aware after hearing all of these panelists speak. What I would also say is there's a pastor on this panel. There are those that civil rights activists, historians, those that have studied these topics. You don't have to be an expert in the field. You have to care. You have to have the conversations. You have to listen to Black people. You have to hear their plight. You have to hear their stories. But I also think to take it one step further, as a white person, for those that know on this panel and those listening, Rich Robinson, Winston Dean, and Dex Ellison are three of my closest friends. Us four have had these conversations on numerous occasions. And they've helped me see some of the biases that I've had. And they've helped me realize. Rich told me that story for the first time a couple weeks ago. We've been friends for 15 years. It helped it helped me see that police brutality and again these social injustices, they happen far more often than we may think. Again, we don't experience these things, but we have to have the conversations and listen to understand that they do in fact exist, and they exist in a manner that is just, it's disgusting. It should sadden us. It should move us to want to help create change. Last but not least, here I'll mention, make sure to have the conversations with people that look different than you. But I think where I also need to make a change is having the conversations with people that look just like me. Because for again, the majority, which is white people, to help create this change of equality, if a George Floyd or an Eric Garner or all of the others that have been murdered or treated unjustly, if I'm having a conversation with a white, if those conversations aren't had, not enough is happening to create change. So again, it's got to happen with the people that do not look like you, that these injustices, these brutalities, but it also has to be more commonly discussed from white person to white person, so that again, we can all come together and create change. Everyone deserves the same equal opportunities. And again, I hope that awareness and creating this movement so that there is change, I hope that's what comes from this message. Thank you.